The story begins with a wide, peaceful shot of Earth, its blue oceans and green continents glowing under the vastness of space. The calm, serene image gives a false sense of security, as if nothing could disturb the peace of this beautiful planet. But suddenly, the tranquility is shattered. The camera zooms in quickly, showing a faint disturbance in the sky, a dark cloud of ships moving swiftly toward Earth. They are unlike anything the human race has ever seen. These ships belong to the Zothar Empire, a merciless alien species that has long terrorized the galaxy with their advanced technology. The Zothar warships are massive, sleek, and cloaked, nearly invisible to human sensors. Their weapons are powerful enough to wipe out entire planets, and their AI-driven fleets are always one step ahead of any enemy. Earth's defenses, once thought to be formidable, are now struggling under the weight of this technologically superior foe. As Earth's final line of defense collapses, the Zothar launch a massive orbital bombardment, sending waves of fiery destruction toward the planet's surface. The scene is chaotic, cities burn, skies darken with smoke, and the last surviving human forces brace for impact. In the middle of this overwhelming attack, a small, urgent transmission breaks through the static. It's a message from Earth's fleet, which was believed to have been destroyed years ago during the early days of the war. The transmission is barely audible, but the message is clear: we're still here. We're coming. Just as Earth's last stronghold appears to be on the brink of annihilation, something unexpected happens. The bombardment stops. Silence fills the air for a brief moment. Then, out of nowhere, a fleet of human ships emerges from the shadows of space. These ships are no longer the vulnerable, outdated vessels they once were. They have been equipped with advanced cloaking technology that mirrors the Zothar's own. The human fleet, which everyone thought was lost, has returned, and they are ready to fight back. The Zothar, caught off guard by this sudden appearance, scramble to locate the now invisible human ships. Their advanced AI, which controls every aspect of their war strategy, is unable to detect the humans. The camera follows the Zothar ships scanning the void of space, their weapons systems activated and ready, but there is no sign of the humans. It's a game of cat and mouse, and for the first time, the Zothar are the ones being hunted. The scene shifts rapidly between high-intensity space battles. The human ships, still hidden by their cloaking devices, strike with lightning speed, ambushing Zothar ships, disabling their weapons, and making precise, calculated attacks. Explosions ripple across the screen as the Zothar ships explode in a flash of light, leaving trails of debris. The human fleet moves quickly, silently, like shadows in the dark, their every move surprising and precise. The camera zooms in on the faces of the humans aboard their ships, sweat on their brows, eyes wide with determination. They know that their fleet is outnumbered, but they also know that they have something the Zothar don't: surprise. The humans have developed cloaking technology so advanced that even the Zothar's AI can't predict their next move. It's an advantage they plan to use to its fullest, and they strike quickly and without mercy. As the Zothar desperately try to retaliate, their strategies seem ineffective, unable to predict the humans' next move. The stakes are clear: Earth's survival is on the line, but with their new technology and relentless determination, humanity is showing that they are far from powerless. The suspense builds as the battle intensifies, and the camera moves between close-up shots of human soldiers, gripping the controls of their ships, ready for the next attack. They may be outgunned and outnumbered, but they are determined to prove that they will not go down without a fight. The camera cuts to a command center aboard one of the human ships, the Valiant, the flagship of Earth's fleet. Here, the audience meets Captain Elena Hayes, a tough, battle-hardened leader with a sharp mind and a steely resolve. Her eyes scan the chaotic screen in front of her, showing a mix of enemies and allies, flashing warnings and reports. Despite the tension in the room, Elena remains calm. She knows the fate of Earth rests on her shoulders. Every decision she makes could be the difference between life and death. Alongside Elena stands Major Bonner, a seasoned strategist and her trusted right-hand man. He's seen it all: countless battles, narrow escapes, and impossible odds. Bonner's calm demeanor masks the years of war behind him. He's dedicated, pragmatic, and fiercely loyal to Elena. Their bond is unspoken but solid. Both understand the gravity of the situation, but they share a common goal: to reclaim Earth from the Zothar. Also present is Lieutenant Sato, a young but brilliant tech genius. She's responsible for the stealth technology that's allowing humanity to strike back. Sato is the quiet, genius type, working tirelessly behind the scenes, perfecting the cloaking devices that make their ships invisible to the Zothar's sensors. Her creations are humanity's secret weapon, and the crew depends on her every day to keep them one step ahead of the enemy. Sato doesn't have the years of battle experience like the others, but her intellect is just as vital to their fight. As the human fleet makes its move, the camera shows Earth's warships materializing from the blackness of space, now cloaked and nearly invisible to the Zothar. The first strike is swift and brutal. The human ships appear out of nowhere, attacking supply lines and strategic Zothar outposts. Their tactics are unconventional, nothing like the Zothar's AI-driven strategies. Instead of fighting head-on, the humans employ hit-and-run tactics, attacking from unexpected angles, disabling key systems before retreating into the shadows. It's like watching a group of underdogs outsmart a larger, stronger opponent with sheer ingenuity. As the human fleet takes out one target after another, Elena watches the displays with a satisfied yet focused expression. Each victory feels like a small miracle, a glimmer of hope for a future that seemed impossible just hours ago. The Zothar, confident and arrogant, did not expect humanity to be capable of such a strike. Each attack from the humans leaves the Zothar scrambling, unsure of what's coming next. Humanity's ships are faster, more agile, and more unpredictable. While the Zothar rely on their massive, heavy warships and AI-driven tactics, the humans use their superior knowledge of guerrilla warfare, attacking when least expected, retreating before the enemy can retaliate. Every win, no matter how small, chips away at the Zothar's overwhelming power. It's not just a victory of technology, but of spirit. Humanity refuses to back down. But the Zothar are no fools. Despite their surprise, they quickly adapt. In the blink of an eye, their AI begins analyzing the human ship's movements, calculating patterns, and searching for weaknesses in the stealth technology. The Zothar deploy their own countermeasures, new AI protocols designed to break through human cloaking. They initiate scans for any disturbance in space, targeting areas where the humans might be hiding. As the camera zooms out, we see the vast expanse of the galaxy, the Zothar's network expanding and tightening. They're learning, evolving. The humans are no longer as invisible as they once were. Their tactics, once effective, are slowly losing their edge. Every day, the Zothar's AI grows smarter, more efficient at locating the human fleet. The clock is ticking, and the humans know they don't have much time before their advantage is lost. There's a palpable shift in the air. The once invincible Zothar are now the ones on the defensive. Their frustration mounts as they try to predict the next human strike, but it's clear that the humans won't stop. Elena's fleet is relentless, even as their enemies adapt. She knows the road ahead will only get harder. The Zothar might be catching up, but for now, humanity has the upper hand. The camera lingers on Lieutenant Sato, her face a mix of determination and anxiety as she works to improve the cloaking technology. She knows the pressure is mounting, and she feels every second of it. Elena steps over to her, placing a hand on her shoulder. "We're not out of this yet. Keep pushing." Sato nods, understanding the weight of her task. The fate of Earth depends on her ability to stay ahead of the enemy. The battle is intense. The human fleet moves through the cold vastness of space, cloaked and unseen by the Zothar, launching surprise attacks on their enemy. But in the midst of this strategy, tragedy strikes. During a fierce skirmish with a Zothar ambush, Major Bonner's ship is hit hard. The explosion is sudden, powerful, and unforgiving. The camera focuses on Captain Elena Hayes, her eyes wide in horror as she watches her close friend and trusted strategist's ship disintegrate. The transmission cuts in Bonner's final message. His voice, calm and steady despite the chaos: "Finish this, Elena. Finish what we started." The silence that follows is suffocating. Elena's face hardens with determination, but her heart aches. Bonner was more than just a soldier, he was her friend, her comrade in arms, and now, he's gone. His death marks a turning point in the war for her. It's no longer just about defeating the Zothar, now, it's personal. She swears to carry on his mission, to ensure that his sacrifice won't be in vain. The crew feels the loss deeply. Bonner's absence leaves a hole in their ranks, but they rally around his memory. The camera shifts to different faces: soldiers, officers, technicians, each one feeling the weight of his death. They've lost a brother in arms, but they know that his death must not be in vain. The bond between them all strengthens, pushing them to fight harder, to honor his sacrifice. As the battle rages on, Earth's fleet grows smaller. The Zothar's countermeasures are proving to be effective, and humanity's advantage of surprise is quickly slipping away. The humans are now outnumbered and running low on resources. But Elena and her crew have one final chance, a last, desperate plan to destroy the Zothar once and for all. They've discovered the location of the Zothar's central command, a massive fortress station deep in the heart of enemy territory. It's a heavily defended stronghold, one that houses the Zothar's AI core. This core controls their entire fleet, their tactics, and their war machines. If they can destroy it, the Zothar will be crippled, and humanity will have a chance to win. The mission is risky. The fortress is protected by layers of defense, and the Zothar are expecting them. But this is humanity's last hope. The camera focuses on Captain Hayes as she stands before her officers, her voice firm, but the weight of the decision clear on her face. We make this strike, or we lose everything. There's no turning back. The crew, though battle-worn, responds with a unified, determined cheer. They know what's at stake. The tension is palpable. The mission begins. The human ships, cloaked once again, move through deep space toward the Zothar's fortress. The camera follows them in slow, tense shots as they approach the heavily guarded station. The fortress is massive, its sleek design filled with deadly weapons and advanced AI defenses. The human ships carefully navigate through asteroid fields, avoiding detection, their cloaking devices keeping them hidden. But the Zothar are ready. The moment the humans drop their cloaking, the battle begins. Explosions light up the screen as human ships dodge enemy fire, zipping through space at breakneck speeds. The air is thick with tension as the humans take on the Zothar's fleet in a brutal space battle. The humans, though outnumbered, use their agility and cunning to their advantage. Cloaked vessels appear out of nowhere, launching surprise attacks, sending Zothar ships into chaos. The action transitions to the ground, the human soldiers infiltrate the Zothar fortress. The station is heavily fortified, with AI-controlled drones patrolling every corridor. The soldiers, equipped with advanced weapons, must fight their way through the station, taking out the drones and pushing toward the AI core. The camera zooms in on the soldiers as they move through narrow, dimly lit hallways, their guns raised, ready for anything. The tension is thick. Every corner could hold a trap. The battle on the station intensifies. Explosions echo through the hallways, an AI drone swarm, targeting humans with terrifying precision. The soldiers move fast, shooting, ducking, and weaving through a gauntlet of attacks. The camera captures slow-motion shots, an explosion knocking a soldier off his feet, sparks flying as a drone is destroyed, the fierce look of determination in each soldier's eyes. At one point, Captain Hayes and her team find themselves cornered in a narrow hallway, surrounded by Zothar drones. The camera focuses on her face as she assesses the situation, then gives the order. Move, now. The team rushes forward, guns blazing, fighting for every inch. The sound of gunfire, the hiss of explosions, and the thrum of battle fills the air. It's a desperate, heart-pounding moment. The human fleet, battered and bloodied, moves toward the heart of the Zothar fortress. Captain Elena Hayes leads the charge, determined to bring the war to an end. She knows that the mission is dangerous, and many will not return from this final assault. But she also understands that this is Earth's last hope. The AI core of the Zothar must be destroyed to stop their reign of terror. The scene shifts to the heart of the fortress, a massive, imposing structure filled with advanced security measures. As Hayes and her crew fight through waves of Zothar drones and AI-controlled soldiers, the tension escalates. Every step feels like a battle for survival, and the air is thick with anticipation. The Zothar are relentless, their forces seemingly endless. But the humans press on, using the element of surprise and their superior tactics to push forward. Just as the team approaches the AI control room, a sudden realization strikes: something is wrong. Captain Hayes notices a shift in the behavior of the Zothar's forces. It's as if they're anticipating their every move. The AI has adapted, and the cloaking technology that the humans have relied on is no longer effective. The Zothar's AI has learned how to counteract the cloaking devices, making the humans visible and vulnerable. The camera focuses on Hayes, her face a mixture of disbelief and determination. The crew is thrown off balance. They've come this far, but now they must face the ultimate test: outwit an AI that has surpassed their every expectation. Hayes takes a deep breath, her mind racing. She knows they can't rely on their old tactics anymore. Instead, they need to turn the tables, using the AI's own strength against it. In a tense moment, Hayes formulates a risky plan. She orders the crew to launch a series of decoy attacks, drawing the AI's attention and forcing it to focus on multiple threats at once. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Sato works feverishly to hack into the AI's core systems, attempting to find a way to exploit its vulnerabilities. The clock is ticking. Every second counts. As the AI begins to retaliate, the tension reaches its peak. The humans are caught in a fierce battle, their every move being predicted by the AI. But then, in a split second, the team executes the daring maneuver Captain Hayes had planned. The decoys overwhelm the AI systems, and in a final, desperate move, Sato gains access to the AI's core network. With only moments to spare, Captain Hayes gives the command to shut down the AI. The crew holds their breath as they watch the system begin to malfunction. In an instant, a massive ripple of energy spreads throughout the Zothar fleet. The AI's grip over the entire armada falters, and the once unstoppable fleet is thrown into chaos. Ships that had been locked in perfect formation break apart. Their weapons go offline, and their defensive systems fail. The camera zooms in on the explosion of lights and energy as the Zothar ships implode, one by one. The human fleet, battered but still standing, emerges from the cloud of energy, victorious. The battle is over. Earth has won. The Zothar, once thought invincible, have been defeated. But the cost has been high. The human fleet is decimated, with many ships lost in the final battle. The crew is exhausted, their faces marked by the scars of war. The victory is hard-won, and the price of survival has been steep. In the aftermath of the battle, the surviving crew members gather to mourn their losses. Major Bonner's death hangs heavily in the air. Captain Hayes stands on the bridge of her ship, gazing at the stars through the viewport. She thinks of Bonner, of the friends and soldiers who gave their lives for this victory. The silence is broken only by the soft hum of the ship's engines and the quiet conversations of the crew members.